Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Ayala. Today we're going to be working with number line. So we're going to have some number line fun today. Let's look at the number line that we have in front of us. I see right here that Z has no number attached to it. I'm supposed to figure out what number Z represents. But before I can even do that, look at the number line. Is it complete? No, it isn't. I need this number, of course I need that number, and then that number. So I have to number my number line. Say it with me, number your number line. Good, again, number my number line. Yes, you have to number your number line. If it's not complete, you can't solve your problem. We have to go step by step in order to complete it. So let's do that. Let's take a look at what we have. I see 112. Then it jumps to 116. Then I have two blanks. Then I have 122. I notice my ones place is a 2, a 6, and a 2. All those numbers, what kind of numbers are they? Are they even or odd numbers? That's right, they're even numbers. So I'm going to start off thinking that my number line is going by twos. But I have to prove it. I'm not sure yet. I need to go and check. So I think it's by twos. If it's by twos, what should this number be? If this is 112, this will be, that's right, 114. Then by twos, again, so 114, 116. Did my twos work? Yes, it did. So I have 112, 114, and to make it easier for myself, I can just pretend it's a 12 and a 14. I can put my 100 back later. Let's just look at the tens and the ones place to help us. So I see 12, 14, 16. What would this one be? Counting by twos. That's right, 18. But I have to put that 1 back because it is in the hundreds. So 118, then 2 again. Good, 120. Then 122, that does match. What's the last one? That's right. 122 plus 2 gives me 124. Did I find what Z represented? Yes, I did, absolutely. Z on my number line is represented by the number 120. I knew this because I numbered my number line and I checked. I found that they were even numbers, so I tried by twos to see if that's how they were jumping. And they were 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, but since this 8 was 18, turned to 20, then 0 to 2, 2 to 4, yes, it was by twos. So, numbering your number line completely with no empty spaces, numbering each notch on your number line, you will find your answer super quick. We need to always check the numbers that we're given in order to figure out what the jump is. So I had these 3 numbers, and I knew that they were even. But I had to figure out exactly by what. So all I did was try it out. I tried it out, and I was able to find that what worked was the twos. So at 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. It was my twos. It worked. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, students, copy this number line in your math journal. Everything Miss Ayala is writing, you should be writing. So that previous number line better have been in your journal. So copy this down. Now, my number line is numbered. So I know that that's not what they're going to ask me to do. It's every notch has a number on it. And look at your numbers. How are they jumping? If I go from 400 to 500 to 600 to 700, what is the jump? Am I counting by twos? No, no way. Tens? No, because 400, 410, 420. Nope, I'm not counting by tens. How is this number line jumping? By what? What are they counting by? Excellent. They are counting by hundreds. 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Yes. So my jump is hundreds. Okay. Now, since my whole number line is numbered, and now I know that they're jumping by 100, I need to figure out what the distance is between point F and point H. Now, the distance means I start here, I stop here. My start number is 500, my ending number is 900. Now, the word distance starts with what letter? That's right, starts with D. The word difference, what letter does that start with? That's right, D also. When I'm looking for the distance, I'm also looking for the difference. And the difference in math is the answer to what problem? That's right, it is the answer to a subtraction problem. So, if I am looking for the distance, I am going to use subtraction to help me. Now, remember your subtraction rules. What number needs to be on top if you are subtracting? That's right. You need the bigger number on top. So, okay, let's try that. So, between 500 and 900, what's the bigger number? That's right, 900. So, 900. And we determined that distance is the same thing as difference. And to find the difference, we use the operation subtraction. So it'll be 900 minus 500. So straight, easy subtraction. 0 minus 0? 0. 0 minus 0? 0. What is 9 minus 5? 4. Excellent. So what was the distance between both of those points? What was the difference between those two numbers? 400. Excellent. My answer, the distance between point F and point H, is 400. Now, I'm going to use my number line to prove it. I found my answer by subtracting. I'm also going to find my answer by jumping on my number line by hundreds, because we found out that the number line was jumping by hundreds. So let's try it ourselves. You ready? 100, 200, 300, 400. My answer is 400. Did it match what we got when we subtracted? Yes, it did. 100, another 100, another 100, another 100. So I have 4 hundreds. That equals 400. It matched. I could do either one of these strategies to solve, but I have to pay attention to the question. If it asks what is the distance between point F and point H, I need to remember that distance starts with D, difference starts with D, and to find the difference, I use subtraction, because difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. Okay, you got it? Remember, I write, you write. Put everything in your journal. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, let's take a look at this number line. So make sure you draw this one inside of your math journal, but you have to be very careful when you draw it, because there's a lot of notches on this number line. It starts with 1094, then there's 1, 2, 3 little notches, one big one, that is 1098, 3 little ones, then there's P. I'm pretty sure we're going to be searching for what that P represents. Then there's 3 little ones. Then this big one is 1106. 3 little ones, and then 1110. So go ahead and draw that in your journals. Now, since I'm searching for the number that P represents on this number line, again, I have to go back, number my number line. I have to figure out what every single notch is. That's how I'm going to find out what P represents. But for me to do that, I need to look at the numbers that they gave me. So as I'm looking, remember, we always look at the ones place. I see a 4, 8, a 6, and then it's a 0, but I'm going to think 10. So 4, 8, 6, and 10. What do you count by? Yeah, they're even numbers, right? But if I was counting by 2s, what comes after 4? Right? 6. What comes after 6? The 8. Is that where this 8 is? No. So it can't be counting by 2s. 2s doesn't work. So, we're going to have to go back and think, how are they counting this? Now, because there are so many notches on this number line, I want you to think if they're counting by 1s. See if they are. If this is 4, 1,194, this would be 1,190. Good. 5. 1,196. Good. So 5, 6, 7, then, yes, then the 8. So 1,098. What comes after 98? Good. 1,099. What comes after that? Now here is where students get stuck. They're not sure what to put after the 99. They know it's 100, but they're not sure how to write it. So instead of counting up, let's count backwards. Let's start at the 6. What's smaller than 6? Good. 5. Then 4. Then 3. Good. And then 2. So 2 would be in my 1s place. Now I have to put everything back just like it shows. So I would have to write 1,100, 0 in the 10s place, and then 2 in the 1s place. So 1,106 going backwards would be 5, 4, 3, then my 2. But it's not just the number 2 because this number line is in thousands. So knowing that my number line is in thousands, I had to go back and put my thousands, my hundreds, and my tens digit before that number 2. The 2 was just helping me figure out how to count backwards. But I needed to put the whole entire number back. So P represents 1,102. Now, let's go back and look at our problem. Let's go step by step. What's step 1? Right, number the number line. Always number the number line. If all of your notches are not numbered, you need to go back and number them. So, step 1 is number the number line. Step 2 is to figure out the jumps. How are they counting by? Are they counting by 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s? There's so many ways that you can count on a number line. You have to be the detective and figure out which one it is. Now, looking at this number line, we tried the 2, but it didn't work. And what is the only number smaller than 2? That's right, the 1s. So we figured out they were counting by 1s, and another clue that helped us was what? That's right, there were so many notches on this number line. And I could see that it worked perfectly. If I counted 4, 5, 6, 7, I got to my 8. But since it's in thousands, I had to make sure to bring back my thousands place, my hundreds place, my tens place, and then I had my ones place. Some kids get stuck right after here. but they don't need to. You know, after 99 comes 100. So I could have written 1,100 for this one. Then, what comes after 0? That's right, 1. But just like Miss Ayala said, I can't leave it at a 1. That's just in the ones place. And this number line was in thousands. So I have to bring back everything else that was right before it. So I'm going to use this one as my guide. So 1, 0 in the tens, 1 in the hundreds, 1 in the thousands. So I could have gone either way. I could have counted up if I knew how to get from 1,099 to 1,100. Now, if you get stuck, that does not mean stop or guess on your answer. That means go the other way. So then go down on your number line. Count backwards on your number line. And that was so much easier for us to do. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So P equaled what number? Good. P represented 1,102. Any questions? All right, let's try one more. Okay, students, now let's take a look at this number line. This is what they call an open number line because there are not any notches to fill. This type of number line is trying to figure out if you understand how a number line works and where the numbers belong on this number line. I can see that my start number on this number line is 375. I can see my end number on this number line is 475. It is asking us which could be this number. And I have to look at the answer choices that they've given me. I see A, 350, B is 470, C is 500, and D is 400. I need to think about counting. Number lines are just counting. It's like a big ruler, or the number lines you see around your classroom, or it's just counting in your head. You know how to count because we've been counting since kinder. Now, what you need to think about is where would these numbers go on this number line? So your strategy that you need to start using is you are going to look at every single answer choice and you're going to plug it in, whether it's inside your number line that they gave you or outside. So let's start doing that. I have this first number, 350. Well, if my start is 375, where exactly would that go on my number line? Now remember, I have a start and an end number on this number line. So my job is to figure out where 350 would go. If I start at 375, is the number 350 greater or less than 375? Absolutely right. It is less than 375, which means it would be way over here, away from the number line itself. It's not even on my number line because it's less than. So there's no way that it could represent this dot. Doesn't make sense. So 350 automatically I will cross out. Cannot be this dot inside my open number line. Now, let's go to the next problem. The next problem says, well, next answer choice says 470. Okay, I see 375, then there's my dot, and my end number is 475. Now, 470, is that less than or greater than 475? Right, it's less than. But how close is it to 475? How many away is it? How many ones place away is 470 to 475? What's the difference? What's the distance? That's right, it's only 5 away. So 470, if I was going to put it on my number line, I'd probably put it right about there. So 470 needs to be close to 475 because that's how we count in our number lines. 470, 471, 472, 473, then finally 475. It has to be close to our end number. So that cannot be the answer to my dot. Look at C. C says 500. Now, what was our end number on this open number line? Yeah, 475. Is 500 less than or greater than 475? Absolutely. It is greater than, which means it's way over here. It's not even in the number line. It's not part of my open number line. My end number is 475. 500 is greater than that. So I know now C cannot be my answer choice either. I had two. One that was way too small, one that was way too big in order for it to work. So now I'm going to my last answer choice. My last answer choice shows 400. Now, if I know that this is 470, I see 375, and I know all the other answer choices are incorrect, what would this dot be? Excellent, yes. My dot would equal 400. And it makes sense because if I was counting on a number line and I counted 350, then 375, then 400, then 470, 475, then 500. That would show your numbers from least to greatest, which means I put them correctly on this number line. So I know that the 400 was the only dot that made sense to go between the number 375 and the number 470. That is the only number that I could have chosen that would have worked. Any questions on this problem? Okay, let's review it. Did we have any notches to number? No, we didn't. We didn't have to number this number line. Both notches were numbered. So that told us that we were dealing with an open number line. Meaning our job was to actually tell the number of the point using a beginning and an end number. Then, next step, you go to answer choices. We checked A, too small. We checked B, it was too close to the 475. So C was too close to our end number. So there's no way that it could have been this one that we were looking for. Then we looked at answer choice C, which was 500. But 500 was greater than the number line itself. Our end number was 475. So 500 was outside of our number line, just as 350 was before the number line. So the only one that made sense, the only number that I could place where this dot belonged was 400. And then I can prove it by actually writing them all out from least to greatest, and you saw that I put them in the correct order. So 400 was my answer choice. Okay, now that we've practiced number lines, let's go through the rules again. Number one, number the number line. You have to number every single notch. Step two, number two, you need to find the jump. You need to see what the jumps are counting by. So find the jump. And once you do that, you number every single part of your number line, and more than likely, as soon as you do these two steps, your answer choice will be given to you because you have already labeled your number line with the correct number. All right. Okay, students, so now it's your turn to go have some number line fun.